Hi everybody, it's Claire back with another art journal video. In this one I am going to be creating a bit of a cutout edge on my page using one of my new stencils. This stencil is called the Big Foliage Stencil and Mask, so you get the stencil and the cutout elements which you can use as a mask as well. So I'm going to just position it on the edge of my page, and I'm kind of using it at a slightly quirky angle because I want the edge of the leaves to be down the edge of my page. So I'm going to do one coming in from the top, and then I'm going to join another one onto the side as well. So I'm just going to draw around them and just make sure that they kind of fit in the space that I've got on my page. And then I'm going to get my craft knife out and my little mat and just cut out the right hand edge of the page, just to kind of disappear that, just to cut out that element, just so that it makes the edge of the page a little bit more interesting. So just, you'll notice there's that little bit at the bottom where you just need to hold that bit really steady or not press too much while you are drawing around, because some quite delicate parts of the stencil. So then I'm just going in with my craft knife with my mat underneath and just working slowly at cutting away the bits I don't need. So with a design like this, you only need to cut away one side. You don't need to worry about the other side, because obviously if you did cut it away, it would end up falling out your page. So yeah, this is quite an easy way to start doing a cutout page. There are some courses on my website where I do these sort of cutout edges of the page. There's one in particular where you make a layered set of pages. It's a great way to sort of make a start at trying something like this. It's a fun way to just change up your journal by altering the pages. Okay, so once I've done that, I'm then just looking through my new Bright Botanicals collage paper pad, just selecting some paper from there that I'm going to use. These are unfortunately out of stock at the minute on my website. I am hoping to get some more stock in very soon. They've been extremely popular, and in fact I ran out of stock on pre-order before they even went live on my website. So that's an amazing response from everybody. So thank you very much if you've ordered some, and I hope you love them when you get them. I mean, I think they are lots of fun to play with. They give you that great start to a page. You don't have to kind of do a lot of thinking. You can put them on as a whole background to start off with, or here, like I'm doing, just add pieces on and add them as your initial layer of collage paper onto your background, and then work elements and colours around it. So they're quite versatile, really. And of course, they've got that bright, colourful vibe as well. So then I'm just So initially I was just going to add one piece on, but once I'd stuck it in place, I just felt that the page wasn't very balanced. So I'm just going to add a couple more pieces onto the page on the right hand side, just at the top and the bottom. And it does just balance that page out a little bit more, makes it feel a bit more complete, really, in the sense that the colour is more evenly spread over the space that's left on the journal page apart from the cutout edge. So I have stuck this paper over where the other half of the foliage botanical shape is, but that doesn't really matter because I'm going to stencil over the top of it. So this is a stencil also from Funky Fossil. This is not one I've designed, but it's a lovely one. I love it. It's called Doodle Roses. And I'm here using the Permanent Red Violet Light from Amsterdam Acrylic. As you know, if you follow my channel, it's one of my favourite pinks. And I know lots of you have been out and bought it because I'm always raving on about it, but it is such a pretty pink. And it works so nicely with all the other colours, particularly Dina's colours. It works nicely with those. So I'm just adding some areas of this stenciling onto my page. You can see how here I'm going to start overlapping my stenciling with the collage paper, and it really works. It's that collage paper just gives you that kind of kickstart to your background really, and helps you get going. So this is my dots and dashes stencil. I'm using like a lilac-y colour, which is from Amsterdam Acrylic. This one is called Ultramarine Violet Light. They have really long-winded names, don't they? And then I am using turquoise, I think, from Dina Wakley, yep, and using the dots part of this stencil. So I've just built up some little bits of stenciling on my page, and I kind of really was liking how this was coming together. Feeling quite happy with it, actually. So there we go, just a few areas of stenciling, and here I'm just extending them down to the bottom of the page just so that they're not kind of floating around. And then I am starting to add in the black contrast, so I'm going over the right hand edge of those cut out elements, then popping the stencil on and stenciling in the remaining bits here. So you will notice when I come to stencil the other side of my page that I flip my stencil over, and the stencil was still wet, and it actually imprints a little bit of the paint that I've just stenciled through onto my page. And at first I thought, oh no, I've ruined it, but I actually quite liked the effect that it gave. It softened that edge. So I think sometimes these little happy, here you go, can you see it there? Little happy accidents that you might do by accident that actually end up working quite well. So here I've just flipped the stencil upside down just to do the stenciling at the top of the page up here. So I'm just looking at kind of adding those balanced elements on both sides of my page. So next I'm using the Signo Uniball in white, and I'm just going around and outlining all of those big foliage stencil shapes that I've added onto my page. This kind of just helps to pop them out of the background a little bit, and again it's just adding that little bit of contrast as well. So then I spent quite a long time debating what to add on the page next, and in the end I went with a piece of Dina Wakley Transparency, and then I was trying to decide where to put it. So it's going to go on the left hand side, and I did just add 3 little areas with a little tiny bit of white paint just underneath where the faces were going to be, just to help those faces be seen a little bit better. Then I'm using my little dotty stamp just to add some dots to break up the edges of the page a little bit. And oh yeah, to stick the transparency down I used ultra thick gel medium as well. And then I'm just adding little hearts onto each of the faces. So just, you can see faffing about with my tweezers. It's just because these hearts are so tiny, they're really difficult to pick up and not end up getting your hands completely covered in glue. So the tweezers are really good for that. So next I'm using the Signo Uniball and just adding some finer dots onto the page, and also drawing some really tiny little circles as well. Just breaking up those areas where I've added in the black dots with the stamp. So this text stamp is from one of my sets called Soulful, this from Funky Fossil. This was in one of my previous releases, and this particular one says create your own tribe. I am stamping that straight into my journal using black archival ink. So that gives me the format for my letters, and then once it's dry I'm just going over it using this fine nib Posca pen just to darken it up a bit, draw a bit more attention to it, and make it a bit darker. So finally, I'm just going to add a little pop of neon pink onto the letters and then some more dots, and then that's done. So I hope you've enjoyed watching me playing with my new release and creating these different journal pages. I hope you found them inspiring, and when you get your goodies, if you've ordered them, I hope you have lots of fun playing with them as well. So thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.